See, I'll stand just a little wee bit.
Hello, hello everyone. Welcome to Lighten Up It's Only Light. I am Vero, owner of Sacred Crystals. And this is...
And I am her sidekick or friend. And
I'd say friend.
Yeah, Christina.
I don't think either one of us are a sidekick. I think we're both goddesses.
Yeah. Well, I'll take all of it. How is everybody today?
Life is good for me.
Yeah.
So I have a quick story I wanted to get into before we got started. So Christina does this wonderful brand. It's all hand stamped. It's all like with new and upcycled materials. Like she makes these cute little love tops and witches breeches. And oh, thank you. Hey, let there be light. She makes these cute little outfits, and like she'll like the witches breeches are kind of like men's boxers, but they've got these cute upcycled parts like lace and trim and like little old vintage handkerchiefs as pockets and stuff. So cute. And I have them in the store now, so I'm really excited, right? So I go to I had to undress a mannequin because of course the girl wanted the one on the mannequin.
I thought that was one Crystal style that too.
Yeah,
and she has a knack.
So cute. And the colors were just perfect together, and it just was adorable. And it looks so cute on her. She doesn't even have to wear a little shirt under it because she's a
it's the one. Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Some of them are up and some of them are lower. Just
yeah.
Yeah.
So she looks so adorable in it. But I took it off the mannequin, and as I'm taking it off the mannequin, inside the witch's breeches, which is perfectly fitting, wolf spider.
No way!
I told her, I was like, okay, just a second, I'm not gonna hand these to you right now because there's literally a wolf spider hanging out in here, a little creature spider, wolf spider, whatever you would call them. They're harmless and they're actually really good ground spiders and stuff. So I was like, how appropriate that we have a wolf spider in Sacred Crystals. That's just awesome. He'll be our little mascot. I hope he finds enough stuff to eat.
Yeah.
But he was hanging out inside.
You're near the food court, so.
Yeah, true. So that's the beauty of being in a mall. The spider will find food. So I was like, she was like, yeah, I tried them on and I felt something, and I was like, I saw her take it out.
Wow. Well,
but she still loved it and she still bought it. I think she bought it because of the spider, because that was just meant to be. It was super cute.
Well, I'm thinking that is a sweetest little.
Isn't that sweet?
It is.
He's
like,
Wolfie. I like the witch's breeches. I'm gonna hang out here.
Yeah, I like that. Well, I appreciate the person that was encouraged to check out those cute little boxers, and then have a little friend to help her decide, to go with the amazing witch's breeches.
He crawled away. He's now living in the store underneath the incense.
That's cute. Well, and I'm grateful for you, Vero. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having some fun stuff in your. I mean, she's got great stuff anyway, but I'm just an extension, and I'm grateful. So
it's so nice to have to have a real designer and every piece being unique. Like that's cool. So that's part of what makes my job fun, is doing things that are unique and interesting, and supporting local artists. I always like to have artists displaying their art, in the store as well. So, and fashion is just a wearable form of art. So
I love it. I like making the stuff too. It's fun. I get to pick out these amazing. I'm a fiber arts person. I just am really it intoxicates me. I love fibers. I love materials and fabrics, and I love the intensity and intention that went into creating such amazing pieces. And some of this lace is like hand done. It's real ancient. It's kind of been around the block, but it's repurposed, reloving home. So I love it.
Yeah.
Rehomed stuff is great.
Yeah. And sometimes that gives me an idea. Sometime with your and Theron's permission, we will have to do like a little tour of Christina's house.
Oh.
Because that's where we are right now, which is you have no idea. This place is so lovely. It is like being in a live-in museum. You know, but not like a museum like cold, like a livable space. You know, like with just beautiful art from all different artists all over the place. A gorgeous garden that's sometimes a little overgrown, which is perfect because it feels like magical. It feels so magical. I love your space. So sometime with your permission, we'll have to share it.
Amazing. So sweet. What a sweet thing to say. Thank you, Vero. I love my home too. I think I'm so blessed, and I'm so blessed to have this person in my life to say such thoughtful things.
I didn't mean to make you cry.
I know, it's joyful tears. Yeah. So moving. Thank you.
Today you wanted to talk about divination.
Yeah. I was thinking a lot about, I loved last week's conversation where we kind of like touched on some like how-tos. I think how-tos, the tools and the instructions were helpful. You know, we can't read every book. We don't, and we don't know everything, So sometimes getting to the heart of what we're really trying to do, and sometimes we need steps or guidance or instruction or just somebody that has wisdom with words that can say, these are some things that help me, maybe try that,
And also, like, I mean, we're a couple of crones. We're happily a couple of crones.
Yeah.
We embrace our wisdom and knowledge, and that we've been blessed to achieve over a lifetime. And always still more to learn, of course, but that's part of being a crone. You don't know it all, and you never will. You'll never get it done.
It doesn't end. Just
you always have more to learn. And I think sometimes people get tripped up a little bit because they think there's a right way. And there is no right way. Everything is very personal.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like just like with the reading of the cards, that we do, which we'll do in just a minute. With the reading of the cards, everybody might see something different in it, and might do it a little differently, and that's perfectly fine.
Yeah. You kind of figure out what works for you a little bit better by trying different ways and methods and accessing or even opening up to different types of tools or modalities, that are inspiring or resonating with you. Pick that tool up and see, I don't just leave myself kind of boxed in with one specific type tool or method, So there's so many types of things that you can get into to try to get inspired and also find what works for you, And there's so many different ones that can work in combination and in tandem too. So that's really lovely also.
And what's important is that when you're doing your specific ritual or you're using your specific method of divination, what's important is that you feel in alignment doing it, that you feel connected to source.
That's beautiful.
And that's all that matters. As long as you feel connected to source, you can't do it wrong.
Yeah, because there really isn't like a right way, a wrong way, anything like that. But it is about, kind of maybe intention and being, with your highest self. I love that.
Amen, sister.
Yeah. Now, do you want to do a reading? Then we can delve into conversation about divination, baby, because readings, although we talked about ritual and ceremony 1 week as a topic, our readings are a way to divine things as well. So it's an act of divination, especially depending on what type of intention you're putting into it. And I did bring out a couple of different cards. Now, do you want to start with a reading, or do you want to end with a reading, or do you?
Oh, either way, I'm cool. I totally forgot to bring any cards today, so.
Oh, that's all right. So I brought these down. I'm kind of in tune with some nature type stuff right now.
Yeah.
So I brought down the Nature Spirit Tarot, and I've actually got a tarot deck down here today. Generally, I work with oracles. And then this sweet little, the Druid Plant Oracle, which is super, super sweet too.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh, I like that too.
Yeah. So maybe I'll step out of my comfort zone today, and I'll just do a little tarot, and then you can do whatever you want.
That's very cool. And if you're wondering the difference between tarot and the oracle cards, the tarot is a traditional deck that has 78 cards that has a traditional, suits. Like in a playing cards, you have the ace through king, right? In tarot, you have the major arcana, which are always the same cards, just with different art depending on the artist that has created the cards. And all the cards have the same meaning, but you might get a little bit of a different read because of the art that was put into the deck by the artist. And then there's the minor arcana, which is your suits, your wands, your pentacles, your cups, and your wands, pentacles, cups.
Oh, you said pentacles already.
Wands, pentacles, cups. What's the other one? I just blanked on them. Swords. Yeah. Not feeling like cutting anything out of my life today.
Yeah.
But so there's the minor arcana, which has the 4 suits. So you'll get it's very set in meanings with interpretations added by the different arts and the different intuitive person who is reading them.
Yeah. So I will share that this beautiful deck is it's illustrated and written by Jean Marie Herzl. Okay. And it's super sweet. It's called the Nature Spirit Tarot. And it has the traditional tarot cards and symbolism, but just incorporated in the stead of the magician as a human being. It's a little owl right here. I think it's a hawk.
A hawk.
Yeah, a little hawk.
A hawk with a dragonfly.
Yeah, isn't that cute?
Yeah.
So it's fun. It's kind of cute. It's really, I like dealing with little nature type spirits and symbolism that goes beyond, well, I'm just going to say it. I've been guided to say it all week, so I'll express it here, and that is, and you guys probably already know this, but for some reason, if you don't, I'm compelled to tell you that we're not, I don't know that we're really necessarily human beings. We are being human.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So that's a role we're playing a little bit, is being a human. Yeah. Okay. So when you kind of keep that in mind, you've got a different, slightly little shift or perspective on what it really is to be a human. Okay. All right.
We are being human, and this is all the fun game that we have decided we get to play.
Yeah. Yeah.
So don't take it so seriously.
Yeah. And so be other things.
Yeah.
Give yourself permission to not just be a human. Okay. Be the mythical creature that you really are. Be the God that you really are. Be the angel that you really are. Be the oneness of unity and heart, sacred, juju, earth mother, all that. That's you. Okay.
Yeah.
Be it.
Yeah.
And be human too. You get to live all of these lives in one body if you give yourself permission and open your mind and heart to that. Okay. Mama loves you.
Ooh, well, that's fun.
Wow.
I have to put on glasses for this one.
Yummy. Okay, well, the number is 8, which is so symbolic for so many different reasons. It's eternal. It's infinity. It's you and it's me. It's the heaven and the earth, It's the precious hourglass that is the you and the me, the up and the down, the above and the below, and then the sweet little teeny tunnel, that little funnel that's in the center of both sides of the hourglass of the sweet little infinity symbol 8 is where all of the dreams and inspirations funnel through and manifest into human form, where you can be what you want to be or have what you want to have.
Yeah.
So number 8, I like it, and it's got all these cute little lilies, calla lilies. So that's representing some sweet chalice type coming in to getting yarn. Okay. And the number 8 is resonated and repeated here, and how many calla lilies are present. And calla lilies in nature's way and in Christian views is a type of peaceful plant. It represents peacefulness.
Yeah.
So, and a lot of womanness too, I might add. There's a lot of femininity going on here. There's some good stuff. Plus, there's a big fishy. I can't forget about the fish with that flower. Oh, it's cute. What do you think? Take a look at that.
Goodness.
That's cute. There's a lot to unpack there, actually.
Yeah, well, it's funny. It's that you don't think about how much symbolism is in a beautiful fish like this that's out of the water, flying, and I mean,
it's like heaven and earth, kind of, or
yeah.
It's like the above and below a little bit from the 8, because it is odd that the fish is in that, but it's the stuff that gets filled in your cup,
Yeah.
I kind of even view it maybe as the fishes and loaves type symbolism,
Yeah.
But there's not any water represented in this little thing, unless it's everything's in the water. I don't know. It's funky.
I don't know. It feels sky.
Yeah, I think it feels
very
sky too.
That's
And
why I said
fish
flying.
Fish jump.
Oh yeah, fish jump, fish fly.
It is
And
interesting.
also, like, it's going. The rose is trailing, so it's going forward. So that almost like the salmon going upstream. I don't know.
Cute. I like it.
Yeah.
8 of Cups. Whew. Okay. The 8 of Cups draws attention to our journey of personal growth as we move through life. It reminds us that as we mature and evolve, our progression toward higher awareness is marked by stages. It takes wisdom, inspiration, and good instincts to know when to stop and reflect on our accomplishments, and then boldly surrender to a new phase of our lives that we instinctively know lies ahead. Always keep in mind that the most important aspect of our journey is deepening and enriching our spirit. The 8 of Cups also beckons us back to our spiritual roots. It encourages us to take the time to observe the progress we have made in life and honor our efforts before we proceed. By doing so, we develop a larger vision of life, evolving through cycles of growth and movement. Personal reflection will deepen our trust in a process that will carry us forward to new and positive experiences. Wow. And you were right. It is a salmon. I wasn't really sure what it was, what type of fish it was, but it is a salmon. And so it's a Chinook salmon. So Chinook is the nature spirit that's coming to us in this beautiful card, and it's going to give us its medicine, okay? Chinook salmon, also known as the king salmon. The Chinook is the largest species of the Pacific salmon. The word salmon is derived from the Latin word salmo, which means to leap. Isn't that cute? Here this little guy is leaping out of the water. Okay, Salmon are great travelers. They are born in fresh water, migrate to the ocean, and later in life they return to fresh water to breed and complete their life cycle. This amazing journey has spawned a great deal of symbolic meaning related to the salmon. The salmon helps us to see the importance of understanding life with its cycles and completions as a journey. It illustrates the ability to know when to move on to the next phase of our story. Life is filled with change, and it is good to understand change as a necessary part of our spiritual growth. The salmon symbolizes persevering, moving forward towards one's destiny while always trusting the unknown. It epitomizes the surrender to the spiritual mystery of life. And sweet pea, this little plant here, rambles over trellises and arbors, adding a great splash of color to any garden. Perhaps it is the traveling nature that has led to its symbolic meaning of departure. The salmon carries the sweet pea as a reminder to us that as one cycle ends, a new one begins. We should always acknowledge the things we have completed. As we move on to new experiences, we carry with us our accomplishments. These are the building blocks for the next stage of our journey.
Mm-hmm.
How sweet is that?
Yeah. And going with our divination, it's like, feels like it goes right along with what we just said about, you know, trusting yourself, being willing to try different ways and using what works for you, not being set.
Yeah.
You know, going on that journey.
Plus, it's the kind of the never-ending, always beginning, always ending cycle of life, which is this beautiful figure 8. So that's really beautiful. Infinite, eternal is the movement in which we are thrust in. And accepting that is probably one of our greatest gifts, you know, and going with the current. It's interesting because salmon doesn't really do that. Salmon goes against the current and is still thriving and getting its freak on and, you know, bringing more life to the world and the planet. So there's some really interesting perspectives. It sometimes maybe going against the grain and nature's course might be maybe a different perspective. View a different type of the stream, the different angle of the stream or river, you know. So if you're used to looking in one direction, maybe consider another direction. So if things haven't been working for you potentially in one route or one stream, maybe see what awaits for you in another path, in another way, potentially.
Yeah. Also, that salmon, you know, in my work with co-creating law of attraction, Abraham and such, there's a lot of talk about the stream. And you always want to be flowing downstream, right? You want to just go with it, just let your cork bob in the water and go downstream, just flow. And what salmon teaches us is there is growth in contrast. So in those moments when you're going upstream against the current and such, while it may seem like you're really stuck, you know, because you're trying so hard to get upstream. You're trying so hard. And you see it in the nature shows with the salmon, you know, and the bears, and they're all like trying to get up, trying to get out to the ocean to go do their thing. You know, it's like, it's in that contrast though that there's growth, and then the salmon comes back downstream, right? So it's the contrast is part of this experience. You know, those upstream moments are part of this being human that we get to go through, so that we can later like appreciate and allow our cork to float downstream.
Yeah, I think also too, to the cards point, and kind of like to what you're saying is give it some time to give yourself some grace and a little bit of just small little pause to really reflect and integrate on what you did potentially learn from previous experiences and the upstream type, contrast that we've got going on in our lives, and what makes it super, super easy. If you can recognize and give credit and acknowledge both and observe both, then it makes it maybe a little bit more approachable when you're having to leap out of the water and reach for places that you didn't know that you'd have to leap for in your journey, because it's kind of predictable but unpredictable too. So and that's why we try to divine things too, because we know that we are co-creators. And so if we're going to try to co-create, we should probably be trying to co-create with some of the most positive intention and most, your goals or your desires should be ones that are really kind of maybe super, super cool, healthy, and treating everybody with kindness and respect, and yourself too. So what tools have you experienced in your beautiful lifetime that have been most beneficial for you to manifesting, co-creating, and divining your reality?
Well, that is what divination is connecting to your higher self, connecting to spirit, God, higher self, whatever you want to call that part of us that is not incarnate in this physical body, that we are very much connected to, so the divination tools are tools you use to connect, to get a different perspective, a higher perspective, information that's available to you but maybe not available when you cut yourself off from source, right? So tools that open yourself up to source. The number one, meditation. Number one for me is meditation. It's that connection to self, where you sit and quiet your mind until you are having a conversation with yourself and realize that you're having a conversation with yourself, but it's not yourself answering really. There's another perspective, and once you've sat in meditation long enough and you start realizing that and start having that conversation, it's like, oh, hey, hey, thanks for joining me.
Was there something that aided or helped you or supported your ability to get into a meditation practice that did put you in that place where you benefited the most from the actual act of meditating?
Well, making sure your focus is able to center and let other things go, because your mind wants to chatter. It just wants to just constantly go. And so finding something to focus on, whether it's a frequency or a sound or a light or a stone, something you can just dive into, and as thoughts that are not part of this ultimate conversation you want to have with higher self, flow in, did I do the laundry? They'll flow in, and then you just acknowledge and let them go, and go back to the focus on whatever it is you've decided to be your point of focus for the meditation. So as long as you keep directing back, eventually you get to that place where you're like, oh, hi self.
I love that. That's that's a good way for people to maybe get into it, because early on when I tried to meditate, I don't know what I was doing, and I don't think I wasn't meditating. I couldn't get into that place. So I think sometimes that's what I hear from a lot of people, that they just can't meditate, that they can't still their mind enough of the chatter, of the incessant thought thoughting that's coming in, you know, all the time. So I think the focusing on maybe one specific thing and just giving, you know, intention on that is a great way of getting to that space.
Yeah, and we have to remember as well that meditation is a practice. It's not a goal.
Yeah.
It's a practice. It's a journey. There are many people in Western society. They're very much like myself, very impatient. I know that I sometimes lack patience. I am currently working on my patience.
Your patience is perfect. You're perfect.
You. Thank you.
So
I need to remember that.
Yeah.
And I get to remember that. Mm-hmm. So, but patience is something that we can allow ourselves to have, because if you think about it, in the traditions where we sort of bring meditation from, like the yogic traditions and such. Hello, kitty. Nice kitty cat tail. So in the traditions, yogis spend their entire lives, you know, getting to the space of empty mind. You know, it's not something that they just do, you know, and it's not something that any of us just do. It's a practice. And there are days when the chatter just won't stop, and you're like, okay, maybe not today. Maybe I'm not meditating today, you know. And
love that,
you know,
love that too.
Yeah,
yeah.
And then love that. So when you're having a day, it's okay. You don't have to.
It's a judge-free zone.
Yeah.
Meditation is a judge-free zone.
Exactly. So right on. Yeah. So what are some tools that you use for divination?
Well,
I mean, obviously the cards.
Definitely the cards, but more recently, what I had to really come to realize about myself was that if I write it, if I talk about it with some kind of convincing passion, it's coming true. Mm-hmm. It's going to happen. Mm-hmm. Okay? That is something that I am gifted with. I'm mm-hmm. going to call it a gift. And so because I've realized that I happen to have this ability, I'm like, oh, it is my responsibility then to make sure that the words that come out of my mouth and that the energy that I direct to my words, like the intentions that I have and the spirit behind it and the energy behind it, are like nothing but absolutely fantabulous. Mm-hmm. And that goes towards the writing that I do as well. The scripts that I write, you know, the desires, the dreams, the I like to write. I'm a writer.
Me too.
So it can be anything, because I'm a creative writer too, like poetry and song and silly little transcript or like screenplays for movies and stuff like that. I do it all. I've done it all my life, but and I did it for work. I had to write scripts for work. Now I'm like, I have to be really super-duper conscientious and conscious about what I'm writing, so that I am only manifesting the good juju stuff, you know.
Yeah.
So
well, and because that's the other side of it. We get what we focus on. We get what we speak into reality. We get what we write into reality. So whether you're speaking or writing or singing or whatever energy you're putting out there is what you're getting back. So it's very important to use. I mean, there's a reason that spells are made of words. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know, we are constantly spelling, we're constantly casting, we're constantly putting out energy bursts that come back to us. So literally what you focus on, you get. So why not focus on good stuff?
Yeah. So write down that's part of my divination practice now, mm-hmm. kind of, is speaking, because I do have active or It's an activated throat chakra. And what I'm going to say is really going to come to reality. It may take 10 years. It may take 2 weeks. I don't know, but it's going to happen. So I am conscious of that. And so now that I'm conscious of it, I have to honor that and be respectful of what I say, you know, for everybody's good.
Yeah.
Really, it's in everybody's best interest, you know.
Yeah. So catch yourself when you start going down a road, and it's so easy. Humans love to harmonize with each other. We love to agree. We love to say, "Oh my gosh, me too." You know, we love to do that. But is it serving? You know, we have to really take a hard look at what we're saying, what's coming out of our mouth. I mean, I can think of a conversation I had just a couple days ago that wasn't serving, and I was like, I need to stop this conversation because it's not serving me and it's not serving the wonderful woman that I'm speaking with, because we were both kind of talking about some things that should be left in the past for both of us, right? So by talking about them, we bring them active and we're creating them again. So it's important for us to let those things go. And man, as humans, I get it.
Yeah.
It's not easy. But you want to create, you've got to start with you.
It's true. That's the wisest information anybody can give you too, because you can't rely or depend on the other humans, right? Even if they're your family members, your partner, your bestie,
Yeah.
and you're the person that is driving next to you. It really is all about you. Sounds selfish, but it's not. If you are all about you in the way that confronts things that aren't for the highest good, then you really make it all about everybody else, because you're going through the next layer of consciousness is removed from your purview, from your sphere, and you get to see beyond one step beyond, you know, kind of peer behind the veil a little bit more every time you get to do something for the highest good of all.
Yeah.
Which is you. So that's cute. Other divining type, and I brought down a book because I like books. I told you, kids.
Oh yeah.
This is a goodie. It has all the ways you can. There's so many different things. There's pendulums that you can use for divination.
Yeah, I'm a big pendulum person. I like
Tell
pendulums.
It. Talk about it.
Well, so a pendulum is any weight on a string. Of course, I sell pendulums at the store that are beautiful, made of stone, but literally a pendulum is any weight on a string. You can literally take off a ring, put it on your necklace, and dangle it, and it's a pendulum.
What a great idea, Vero.
Yeah.
Yes, you don't have to go buy stuff. You can,
Yeah.
some of these tools, if you already have a ring, even if it's a wedding ring probably, right? It would still do the trick.
Yeah. So you want to cleanse whatever you're using with sage, with selenite, which is a crystal that cleanses like a sage bundle. Or by leaving them out in the full moon, etc. But you want a quick cleanse of whatever you're using so that the energy is pure around it, and then you just ask, you know. And with a pendulum, this is something that comes up a lot in the store because people want to learn how to use the pendulums. And with a pendulum, it's everyone is different, and pendulums are kind of like pets. So you literally take the pendulum or the weight on the string and you ask it, what is my true yes? And it'll show you. For me, it swings to and from me for yes, and side to side for no. Some people, I'll see it spin and spin the other way for no. You know, everybody's different. And once you know what your yes and no are, then you can ask, are you willing to work with me today? And sometimes a pendulum will say no.
Okay.
If you know, you know. Sometimes it'll say no, and it's basically higher self saying, "This is not a question you need to be asking me." Basically, you know.
You know the answer,
Yeah,
probably.
yeah.
Get over yourself.
But sometimes a pendulum will say no. But usually it says yes. It'll work with you, and then you ask it anything that's a yes or no question. They aren't subjective. They can't. I tell the teenagers, it won't say, does he like, won't answer the question, does he like me?
Okay.
Because
it's like, am I going to win the lottery?
Yeah.
That kind of question.
Yeah. So it has to be a fact that's known to the universe. So that's why in the old days, people would take a map to a person known as a master dowser. Pendulums, divining rods, those sticks from the old cartoons. These are all dowsing devices. Dowsing is basically looking for an answer. It's looking for a true or false, a yes or no. So with dowsing instruments like a pendulum, a master dowser could go on a map and just sort of drag the pendulum along the map and say, here, dig the well right here. That's where the water is.
That's cute.
Yeah, and they still do it to this day.
I knew the divining rods, but I didn't know that they used pendulums.
Yeah.
Oh, that's neat. That's
Yeah,
really
they
cool.
use the rods, they use the pendulums, they use the forked stick that you see in all the cartoons that vibrate.
Yeah. I know exactly what you're doing. Yeah,
So these are all dowsing tools, and using those you can ask questions of the universe that you get yes or no answers for. It's basically asking your higher self, because if it's a fact that's known and can be tested, it can be answered, which is why a lot of times they'll use a pendulum to find the sex of a baby, for example, rather than the
sonogram.
And the pre-sonogram they use pendulums, but it's a tool for finding lost things, because it's somewhere. So you can ask questions. Is it here? Yes or no. Is it here? Yes or no. Is
Wow,
it here?
that's
Yes
cute.
or no.
I hadn't thought about that.
So it's excellent for finding lost things. Yeah. And sometimes, like, quick story, there was a master dowser who was hired by a woman because she lost her wedding ring. So he asked, is it at her work? Is it at her home? It got a yes for home. Downstairs, upstairs, got a yes for upstairs. Kept asking questions until he got it was in the last room on the right against the left wall.
Wow.
5 feet up. He asked, is it on the floor? No. Is it on the ceiling? No. Is it in the middle? Maybe. So he'd ask clarifying questions. Is it 4 feet off the ground? No. Is it 5 feet off the ground? Yes.
That's crazy.
So he asked these questions until he got that it was on that wall 5 feet off the ground. He wasn't in the home. He was just doing this with this woman. And she was like, you're crazy. There's not even a picture hanging on that wall. So you're nuts. This is BS. I don't believe you. So she called him a quack and went home. 6 months later, she actually calls him and apologizes, because on the other side of that wall is her bathroom. 5 feet up is her medicine cabinet. In her medicine cabinet, in an aspirin bottle, because she's a hairdresser and she took some aspirin at work before she started cutting hair, and she put a ring in her aspirin bottle, and then took it home and put it away and forgot about it. But in her aspirin bottle on the other side of the wall was her ring. She found it, and it was exactly where he said it was.
Dang it.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, because I had never thought about using it to that level.
That's how powerful a master dowser, because they're so confident in what they're doing. And you don't get that kind of confidence right away. It's something that builds. Like when you first start using a pendulum, it barely moves at all, because you're not confident in it. You don't trust it. And so you have to work with it and get to where you're trusting more and trusting more and trusting more. So you're trusting your higher self, basically.
I think that's the best thing for any divination at all. Any kind of desiring for any kind of co-creating.
Yes.
Yes. Trust that it's going to happen. Trust that you can do it. trust that you have the ability, trust that you have the highest conscious self to co-create in a positive, loving way, that you are divine, trust that you're divine, trust that you're worthy enough to receive, trust.
Yes.
Trust. Do make sure that if you set out to divine anything, one of the basic, most fundamental ways that it will be manifested is if you trust that it will.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Believe that it will.
Yeah. Believe it and you will see it. It doesn't work the other way around.
Yeah, because you can divine all day and use every effing tool that Vero has in her shop, and you won't divine a damn thing if you don't believe that it will be so.
People ask me every day, all day long, you know, does this stuff work? Because, you know, I'm in a shopping mall, so I get people on all stages of their journey. And I'm like, well, like anything, it requires faith. Yeah. If you say this doesn't work, it's not going to work for you. So if you can trust yourself to believe that it can work, then yeah, it's going to work for you.
It goes back to words, like what you say or what you think. If you don't believe and you're thinking that in your mind, or you're saying that with your words, with words that indicate a negative outcome instead of a positive outcome. So be thinking of the positive outcome. You know,
absolutely, yeah.
The best, most amazing outcome. Make it great. Imagine in your mind that it's better than it could possibly, that it's better than you could expect. Don't let limitation of your mind get in the way of what you really can manifest. Make it unbelievable. And then believe it because you manifested it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, Honey Bunny, did you want to do a reading?
Oh, we can use their divination tool. We can do a reading, sure.
Sure.
What we got?
Yeah, well, I brought this down too, and I also I've got pendulum upstairs. Do you want to do that with, or you?
Well, we got this right here.
Okay.
Let's use the cards. Cards are fun. So this is fun. I've never played with this one either. The Druid Planet Oracle.
It's a good one, honey. You're going to like
Working with the magical flora of the Druid tradition. Yeah, I am good. I'm very connected to ancient England. You know, the whole
I know you are.
Avalon, Glastonbury, Arthurian legends,
I've been with you there.
Merlin. Oh yeah. I can see that. You and I need to go like hang out in the White Well.
I know. We're gonna do a lot of hanging out. So far we're doing Mount Shasta. We're taking everybody to Mount Shasta.
Yes.
And I think a over the pond trip might be in order.
Yeah.
To these amazing places.
Yeah. I have danced naked in the White Well, and it is an experience.
You've done more than I have.
You know, with a bunch of guys, and it's just a bunch of women they just dance.
I swam naked in my pool.
Yeah, that counts.
I don't know. It sounds pretty amazing what you did, girlfriend.
Okay, so the Druid Plant Oracle. So I pulled this amazing plant, garlic. Now, so let's see. So garlic is medicinal. Garlic is this, you know, just super powerful medicine plant. It also is very protective.
Blood purifying.
Blood purifying. And it helps to, you know, I mean, there's a tradition of garlic with the vampires, right? Because it protects you from those spirits and such. So what I'm feeling from this is that maybe it's for someone out there, maybe it's time to retreat into like a safe spot and just allow yourself to be embraced in protective energy. Let all of the negativity flow away and just allow yourself to be safe and protected from energy vampires specifically, like we were talking about vampires, but energy vampires, people, there are always people around us who are, we got more kitty cat. Kitty cat tail. There are always people that will enter our space that especially if we're kind, if we're empathic, if we're giving, that want to sort of take that and it can be draining. So it's okay to protect yourself in those situations, and to just say, put up that garlic, put up that black obsidian, put up that wall. It says, okay, I'm gonna let your energy go back to you, and I'm gonna stay over here safe and protective and protective of my own energies. Yeah, I don't know. So we can always read what this says too. Here, I'll show you the card. There it is. There you go. So let's see. Is it in alphabetical order, this one?
It is in alphabetical order.
Okay. Oh, Heather, I'm almost there. Garlic. And I can't pronounce the druid name of it. It's Nema, something like that. Allium. So upright, it's purification, flavor, the exotic, and then reversed is protection, vulnerability, discrimination. I feel like it's a little bit of all of those. Garlic is a bulbous perennial related to the onion and the leek. Wild garlic, usually called ramsons, is indigenous to Britain. Common garlic, now used for cooking and medicine, was probably introduced by the Romans and perhaps Asia. The card shows ramsons growing at Craftnot, the Valley of Ramsons in Snowdonia, Wales. Like bluebells, they favor damp woodlands where they gather in vast drifts of green and white. So it has the ability to flavor food deliciously, as well as being powerful antiseptic and antibiotic. The combined qualities of purification and flavoring are surprisingly unusual. Selecting this card may indicate you need to consider how you can purify and strengthen an aspect of your life without introducing any element of sterility. Often when we feel the need for change, we envision removing things from our life, and this may not be the right course to take, but consider, or it may be the right course to take, but consider first whether there is something you can add to your life that will naturally replace that which is bothering you without you needing to exert any effort in eliminating it. That's fascinating. The card may also indicate that it's time to introduce something new into your life, something that in the past you had considered too exotic or unconventional, but which is now starting to attract you. Interesting. It also says it's the cure-all. You know, it talks about, because yeah, it is medicine. Like I remember when Phoenix was a baby, like keeping garlic on hand, because it's a medicine. So yeah. It would be a first choice for, any sort of little ailments,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been regarded. It's been regarded. Yeah, this is actually a very helpful little tool, and I'll say just so everybody knows, it is by Philip and Stephanie Cargum, and the illustrations Will Worthington. Super cute little book, because I will share with you that it provides a little bit of ritual, because it goes back into like some druidry and some paganism and even some Egyptian type Far East kind of cultural reference. But a lot of it is druidry and paganism, and it gives you some details about some of the amazing medicinal plants that are on this incredible Earth Mother, that are here for us to cure all illness, be an all heal. And the garlic has kind of been something that traditionally has been real super healing, protective, like you said, purifying. So my family my grandmother is an immigrant, or she was. She fled Poland in the 40s when the Russian it was during the war. And so they fled Poland on foot. She took my father. My grandfather stayed behind in Poland to help with the he was a rebel. He was doing underground type, getting people out of the country and moving supplies around, whatever. But one of the things they brought over to Turtle Island was a concoction of milk, butter, and garlic, all kind of combined in a little saucepan, a little pot over a little stove, warmed up, and you drink it. The most disgusting. I grew up with this stuff, and I would be like, before Christmas, they'd make us drink it. So before we get to open up Christmas presents, it's like, have your garlic milk. It was so bad. My dad was like, yum, 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 yum. But this is a person that lived on scallions and garlic roots out of the ground just to survive while they made their way to safety and fled war. Yeah. But my point is, a accessible, flavorful piece and slice of life, and add it into your life if you want a little protection and a little bit of good medicine.
Yeah, excellent. Yeah, I love that.
It saw my family through so they could survive, and they honored it, and I think that's kind of cool. But there's all kinds of good, juicy bits and details in this sweet book about what these natural plants, medicinal herbs and whatnots can do to help you.
Yeah,
heal.
This is an amazing little deck. I love it. Thank you for sharing it with us.
You're welcome. Thank you to the people that made it, because I'm saying.
Yeah. So divination. A sum up of divination really quick is use your tools. Trust yourself. Trust in your higher self. And allow the answers to come.
Right. And say it with the most positive intentions. Yeah, with knowing that you're gonna that you can creatively co-create. Be real good about it, real fun. Make it pretty dang exciting.
Exactly.
Visualize that. Visualize what you want to create in the most positive, passionate, colorful way, vibrant. And it's very likely it's going to come true for you. I know it will. It's not likely, it will.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So blessings, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us on the replay as well. For Lighten Up, it's only light with us.
Have a beautiful day, everybody. Thank you.
I was getting some making biscuits love.